If you're an entrepreneur who's felt like you've been too afraid to try new things, if you've been in your entrepreneurship journey and felt like you didn't really know how to break into the next step, I'm here to tell you to fail forward anyways, because whether we like it or not, even when we're stepping on eggshells, they're gonna crack. And the best way for us to excel in our journey, in our mission, in just everyday life, it really entails being willing to make those mistakes. I know for me, when I was transitioning from film into stepping into a full business consultant, I had a lot of stuff in between where it was like, girl, what are you doing? That also meant stepping, hey, Pico. That also meant stepping into, or rather, stepping away from film and moving more into life insurance policies. That was a drastic shift because my gap, or the gap that I noticed, was that a lot of creatives in the industry are, one, independent contractors, and two, unaware of how to develop a system or a business structure to keep themselves sustainable for a long period of time in their career. Me naturally wanting to step into entrepreneurship and stepping into this world of film, they were two almost polar opposites in a sense of having to feel like I have to be a creative first and not really having the structure in place because of this fast-paced environment. I didn't want to be that. And funnily enough, things were more backwards in how I took my approach, because rather than focusing on cash flow, I was focused on investing. I was focused on longevity. I was focused on how can I park my money somewhere so that I could have this longevity. And that's exactly how I got into life insurance. I studied how to grow my income tax free, how to grow a fund tax free, how to navigate those ways so that in the event of an emergency, I can actually pull a loan against my policy while I'm still alive to be able to fund all of my ventures. Funnily enough, in practicing that and with life insurance being fully sales and commissions, I was terrible at sales, or rather terrible at selling this product that I was passionate about, but for other reasons, because I was also panicking that I was going broke. But if I didn't learn to do this, then I would have never considered how to grow wealth beyond just filmmaking. Now, there's hiccups and mistakes that I've made along the way. I completely abandoned finding any source of income to say, hey, I'm going to study this life insurance thing and continue to grow and sustain my life this way. Luckily enough for me, I had a lot saved up at that time so that I can continue to learn, and I blew through a lot of money too in the meantime. I want to say I spent about $3,000, anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000, building and growing my life insurance expertise. I, in between that, also did trading school, and I definitely spent about a good $5,000 on that, learning how to do day trading. And I explored prop firms and went on a whole nother venture with them. And then I spent, goodness gracious, about another $5,000 learning how to eliminate my debt and figuring out what it means to be in the private sector and protecting my name from even being out in the public domain so that I can focus on not having the banks take my money more than one time. And a lot of policies changed in between then, and I mean, things didn't quite go as planned. I also spent another almost $10,000 learning how to do affiliate marketing. All of this, I made an effort to say it's all connected to how I'm a storyteller, how I'm this multifaceted business owner. And really, it was just me exploring what I liked, what I didn't like, and also learning how to break past the matrix that was put in place for us to believe that we can't get the things that we want. And even though I didn't get exactly what I wanted in this process, the outcome that I was expecting, I mean, I fell hard. I was looking at my bank account dwindled to nothing while also teaching how to grow wealth. I put myself out there on TikTok educating on financial literacy, all the things that I knew, but in the background, I felt like I was still failing because I didn't have the cash flow. So I'm here to show you 3 steps as to how to continue to fail anyways, because the beauty of it all is you can still hit your final destination if you fail forward. I don't want to say properly, but if you keep these things in mind as you fail forward. The first thing is taking failure as a form of data. I know the biggest mistake that I made was feeling like because I stepped away from film that I was mislabeling myself, now completely shifting into the financial realm when these were all the things that I was interested in. I've said it plenty of times before, be prepared to be misunderstood, be prepared for your intention to be followed by disruption. It's okay. Learn what you like, learn what you don't like. Even if that means you have to put yourself out there, be willing to do that because it's strengthening your communication, it's strengthening your own conviction as to what you want to do. So anything that you've taken and you felt like you've made a mistake, for me, life insurance, I put myself out there on TikTok, shared all this information, still good information, but what was I doing to really back that up? I mean, I failed and now I'm on YouTube sharing that, and one day I'll hop back on TikTok to really say what went down in the background, but that is the reality of it, and it's okay because it taught me how to have organization, how to have structure, and how to have a level of conviction to now move forward in the businesses that I'm running now. Same with trading. I learned a lot of things that helped me break past the matrix as a result of that, and it's been everything that I've done, whether that's life insurance, trading, affiliate marketing, debt elimination, all of that tied into what I now better understand of the system that I'm working with, knowing who my enemies are and are not, having fine-tuned the values of what I will and will not accept, and how I can continue to push forward and be better for myself and for the assignment that I'm actually meant to do in this life. The second one is, while everybody is telling you to invest, to prepare for retirement, to grow your cash, really when it comes to failing forward, figure out how to grow your cash flow. The biggest mistake that I made was reverse engineering and putting my engineering in the wrong order. So that meant I was looking to grow my income, grow passive income, grow my money off to the side without me working for it, when it's only realistic to do that once you still have continual cash flow, because that's not something once you park your cash somewhere, whether that's in mutual funds, which I don't fully agree with, but that's a common one that people do. I know some people do 401ks, which I completely disagree with, but life insurance, which is what my ideal form of even growing that safely, has been tax-free too as well, because the other ones are not tax-free. And in growing and protecting that, it takes time for you to even accumulate that cash. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I could pump money into this thing, and no, it's not exactly how it works. Yes, you can structure it in a certain way for you to be able to pull money out, but if you pull all that money out and you're not doubling to make sure you're keeping up with the cost of insurance and all this other stuff, then you're going to blow through all your money and face relapse on your own policy. So all that to say, it takes time to build and grow cash, rather than you could just make more money faster. There's no other way around it, and that's really the struggle that a lot of entrepreneurs face, is feeling like their cash isn't flowing fast enough. But the more you do new things, the more you realize what's working, what's not, the quicker you can get to the root cause of how to fill your money holes, and cash flow is a big part of that. So ensuring that you have enough cash flow to sustain your life, to make it, and to a point where you can continue to scale your business. Finally, don't pay the price twice. When you do fail forward, when you do explore what is working for you and what's not working for you, it's imperative to ensure that you are taking what you learn and ensure that you don't make that mistake again. You already paid once. Why go through that pain again? Why not learn? And more importantly, don't completely halt yourself and say, I'm going to go back to the way things were because it was easier. I mean, if you want to take that safety route, define your own mode of safety to even see if that's something that is worth going back to. But there's no such thing as going backwards. It's only going forward. And when you are able to take your lessons and grow from them, you pay that price to then grow exponentially. There's no greater feeling of hitting rock bottom and figuring out how to dig your way out of it. And that's really what it takes to be an entrepreneur, because you're going to have a very rocky road. This is not a stable, happy-go-lucky, I'm going to be jolly and creative all the time venture. This is a serious, grungy line of expertise and a line of work. There's a lot of knowledge to take in. There's a lot of trial and error. You're a mad scientist throughout a lot of it. You're going against the grain to see if you have this unconventional and unique way to solve a problem. And the only way you're going to do that is to fail forward. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're taking the safe route, maybe you should consider taking and finding more ways on how you can live life a little more on the edge. There's a way to do it strategically, and there's a way to do it sound. It's not to say that the hits are going to be any lighter or less impactful. It just means that it's preparing you for the person that you're meant to be in the role that you are moving forward in. My biggest advice in being able to fail forward successfully is to have a moment of reflection. So at the end of each day, look back, say what worked, what didn't, rather than say, oh, I messed up and it was a terrible day. No, every day is a fortunate day because you get to wake up and do your best and try again. That's the first prayer that I say. God, thank you for waking me up and giving me another opportunity to do my best. That's something that you always want to have gratitude for, because we only have one life to live, and the fact that you took the chance to see what works and what doesn't is huge. And rather than formulating it as a form of, this is where I went wrong, you could say, this is what I realize isn't working and this is how I can make it better. Don't move from a place of fear when it comes to failing, and rewire your brain to say that failing is actually a good thing, because at the end of the day, we're human and we make mistakes, and the best way that we can bounce back from those mistakes is to continue to learn from them. So if you're scared of wasting money, if you're scared of feeling like your reputation is on the line because you're pivoting, if you're scared of feeling like you can't live up to the expectations that you once had, the fact of the matter is, whatever you continue to fill your mind with is what's going to become of your reality. If you continue to stay aware that your failures are actually pushing you forward to be the person that you're becoming, you'll be just that. Always remember that your story continues to be written, and it's only finished once, it's finished and we're no longer on this earth. So live life to the fullest, see what works, see what doesn't, apply that, and go live it up. I'll see you in the next video.